chemical operations, working in the world of work, where you need to do problem solving and all of those other things that you need to do. The chemical operations qualification has a limitation, right? And so if you want to progress up, into the world of like management, etc., then one of the biggest things that we look at for managers is your ability to solve problems and make quality decisions as a result of that, right? Now, where you guys have been, you've been working as chemical operations people, and you're probably doing an excellent job. But the learning you require needs to take you to another level, right? And all qualifications, all of them have a level of education attached to them. Sometimes you get a qualification to RPL, so you've got the education already, all you need to do is prove, right? So you go through this RPL process. But qualifications like now you're doing this engineering qualification, there's a hell of a lot of learning that you will be going into. And that learning is going to take you to another level, to a new level. And hopefully it gets you onto this. Many of you probably stopped learning or reading or schooling in matric. Probably that's the last time. A couple of years ago, right? And then we forget how to learn again. And the big problem with forgetting how to learn is learning requires a hell of a lot of discipline. But what's going to make it even worse, in school you had a teacher, right? And a teacher normally stood behind you with like some kind of coercive method to make you learn, right? And they'd scold you and tell you to do this and do that. And you felt out of embarrassment you went and got your books going and all that kind of stuff, right? And you had parents as well who were that. Now, a lot of this stuff is going to be on its own. The guys that we have here, probably very close to your own age, you can see that, right? And they're not likely to be using disciplinary tactics against you guys, right? So now you've got this massive mountain to climb. It is a mountain. Forget about anything else. You're not going to sugarcoat it and say it's easy. It's not easy. Learning is never easy. If you're learning something that's easy, please don't waste your time. Do something else. Because you should be learning things that are difficult to do. And qualifications that are difficult to do are always worth their money, the weight in gold, right? The more difficult it is, the more valuable it becomes. So therefore you'll find people that will become chartered accountants. Lloyd's daughter is chartered accountant, by the way. Spent like about how many years? 6, 7, 8 years. A lot of time, right? It's tough. If you want to become a medical doctor, similarly, tough. Engineering, tough. You guys want to go into engineering, right? Tough. It's not going to be easy. But the good thing that you have on your side is that a lot of you have done the practical part. Now it's the time of getting the hard graft done, meaning getting the sort of the engineering science behind it, getting the engineering mathematics behind it, and understanding really how you can use those extra tools, those more sophisticated tools, in terms of helping you to solve problems and make valuable decisions. Because as a manager, that's what you do mainly, make decisions. You make decisions that will affect the company's future, it'll affect your own future probably, right? All of these things are remarkable things that you need to learn, and you'll be able to do it only if you get those higher level qualifications that are like where, because you've done the practical part. Now all you need to do essentially is work hard at getting the theory now behind it. Engineering mathematics, I think those are the most what do you call challenging,
yeah.
Engineering mathematics, engineering science. The rest of it is pretty easy. Okay? Spend a lot of time. Remember something, you got to master these things. And spend most of this time mastering it, because once you do the level N4, N5 and 6 become a little bit, maybe a little bit easier. But the most important thing is in the beginning part is get the discipline going. Get the discipline going, making sure that you submit all your assignments on time. Make sure that if you need any assistance, you've got your colleagues to help you. You've got your facilitators to help. All of these guys are qualified engineers. They can assist you anyway. There's no doubt they can assist you, right? Don't even ask me for help because I know nothing, right? But it's an amazing thing that once you get going on this first level, the first round of this higher quality learning or higher level of education, matric, remember something is like, when you arrive, matric is, everybody says it's quite hard. It is hard, I think. If you don't have matric, it's like, hey, why didn't I get matric? But once you got over matric, don't waste it. Don't waste it by just keeping on to matric, right? So I'm glad you guys made the right decision to go beyond matric, to go beyond the NQ level 3 or 4 that you got, and going towards getting a qualification that will give you this. I've always said, preached about engineering, mathematics, and engineering science. Those things definitely take you very well. Better quality decision making, and the most important thing is from a career perspective, you got your experience, which nobody can match. Getting an experience, getting working place. So at SAPREP. So how many years of training have you done at SAPREP? 20. Huh? 20. 20 years. So a lot of time to spend. You?
27.
Jesus. You guys are done your Really? And you? Didn't get chopped yet? 16 years. Maybe that's why they kept you behind.
24.
24, yeah. Although if you finish 20 years, you got it in the neck, more or less. And you guys look young enough.
16.
16.
26.
Son up. How long did you stay?
14.
14. Why did the teacher must have done something wrong? Boss didn't like you. How long did you stay?
17.
17. You were an agent, right? You used to, how long were you an agent?
9 years.
9 years, oh, you
Answer the baby.
You know, I was an agent.
Yeah.
I left an agent in 2001.
Oh.
Yeah. How long did you spend there?
Including training years, 4 years of training, 15.
15 plus, I mean, including the training.
Yeah.
So, what year did you join then?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Did Scientec help you anyway? I mean, besides, in the early years we were there already, but then 2010 we started there.
Yeah, we just started the learnerships and stuff.
And you, young man?
16.
16. Well, there's a lot of experience in this place, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, the thing is, the way the qualifications work, you already know how the qualification works. So the qualification works by doing your N4, N5, and 6, and then proving the fact that you got all the experience, and then you can graduate with the diploma, right? So you've done the back part, you've done the wrong part first. It doesn't matter. You've done at least one part, which is the bigger part. Now you can do just this one part, I think 18 months.
Yeah, it's
12 months actually. 12 months, and then they don't do because they got so much of
Yes.
experience, they get RPL for
Yes.
the other 18 months.
So look, I think you just got to do the midnight oil thing, right? Burn the midnight oil, make sure you do everything possible to get this qualification. It is really, really, really worth it. It's an amazingly, brilliant qualification, which is worth so much. It's worth its weight in gold, really. And you guys can do it, I'm 100% certain. So we'll be following you all the way, making sure that you got every assistance possible for you to graduate within a year's time. Avinash?
Yeah.
Can we just do that? Make sure
Definitely,
everybody
yeah.
has all the assistance. And so I wish you well in the coming difficult year. Remember, sacrifice whatever you can sacrifice, except your families and your children and all that. You got to be careful. Make sure they are well catered for. But make sure you get this qualification behind you, because it's going to open doors for you. Remarkable doors. Because one door closes, as they say, another door opens, right? So I look forward to capping you guys in a year's time. So take care, enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, so we'll now move on to the next part. I think it's Lloyd, it's you. Up there.
Guys, before, in fact, Avi gave me something to read about the ICAS thing. It's a 45-page document.
I assign parts to everybody, so somebody gets something.
And I was reading this thing and I'm looking, oh my goodness, if I can find this thing so difficult. ICAS. So I read and basically I summarized it into 2 pages to make it as simple as possible. But before I get there, this lady here, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. This lady here is a picture of resilience, determination, and whatever for the last couple of weeks. She was, yeah, practiced for about 7 or 8 days, maybe longer, with little babies, whatever you want to join in, and then we said, no, this, and she had some issues, she went away, she came back the next day, spoke to Avi, spoke to me. So if you want to follow somebody that's really determined to get what they want, this lady has got the qualities. Fighting spirit. That's the first one. So I'll always remember that, some of us look at our children as burdens, but she brought them as bundles of joy, carried them up and down, and she did well. So that's the first one. The second part, my boss alluded to the fact that your guys have been in operations, and the unfortunate part, but that's life, your guys have got retrenched. But you're embarking on a qualification now that basically is going to place you all at the level of management. And I don't know how much your guys read, but if you look at the latest amendments to the Employment Equity Bill, okay, there's major changes there, right? So what's going to happen to your guys, you've got all this experience, you've got a diploma now, you'll actually move into the upper levels of the management structure. So when a company is trying to get its books right in terms of its equity structures, your guys are going to be in the fighting line. All right, so give it your best, because that door is opening there, and your guys are fortunate. As much as you think you're going to be retrenched, but your guys are fortunate. 2003, when I left Unilever, I was sad. I thought the door closed completely on me, and then my career diverted, and I'm here where I am today because of another door open. All right, so that's my motivation talk for today. Now let's come to ICAS. The one that's, I just put it in the form of question and answers. Abi, I'm not going to go too much into the
we'll go for
I'll
it.
just touch a few things, but basically, ICAS, if you look at the definition of ICAS, the ICAS definition adds, in terms of thing, it talks about integrated continuous assessment summative system, ICAS. But just for your people's understanding, it's an internal continuous assessment. Okay, you write 2 tests, have it?
Formal tests, yeah, 2 formal tests.
What is ICAS? It's a set of 2 internal tests that are set by the college. Avi is the native manager. He'll set it with his facilitators. Test 1. Once you're into 2 to 4 weeks of your program, you write test 1. And because by then you would have completed about 30% of your work, your test 1 carries a weight of 30%. Right? It's a very technical thing. I'll explain, or maybe Avi will explain. Right? Avi, I could be wrong on certain things.
No, that's
me,
correct.
Right? I stand to be
correct.
corrected.
Yeah, that's correct.
Test 2 would be administered to your guys 5 to 8 weeks into the program, when you've completed between 70 to 80% of the work, and therefore that carries a weight of 70%. Okay. What is the importance and value of the ICAS results? The combination of the 2 ICAS tests with a minimum of 40% gives you entry into your national native exams. No pass in ICAS, no entry into the final exams. Okay, very similar to the DP that the tertiary institutions have. You don't get your DPs, you don't make it to the final exam. That's similar, there's no reinvention of the wheel. Your ICAS, it contributes to your final marks. Okay, 40% of your ICAS results is added to your 60% of your exam marks to give you your final mark. So you can see the first part, it gives you entry into your final marks. And then if you do well, okay, they take 40% of your ICAS marks and add it to your final marks to give you good marks. So what is he saying to your guys? You work hard, you do well in your ICAS, you've got a better chance of passing your final exams. Okay. I just made a comment here. This boosts your promotional chances and qualification achievement. Okay. How is a test weighted and why? I've explained that test 1 covers 30% of the work done, less content, therefore carries a weighted value of 30%. You just started the program 2 or 3 weeks, less content, so the value is not so much, 30%. Test 2, 70 to 80% of work done, more content, more weighting. Okay. You guys understand the concept of weighting. One has more value than the other. That's how it is. Okay. Avi, can I just do one example of weighting?
Yeah,
you guys want to know one example of weighting. Okay, so if you look at weighting, so for argument's sake, if we take test, we just need somebody with a calculator over here.
Yeah.
So test 1, if the marks is out of 28, out of 50. 50, right, the learner marks is equal to maybe 28, so you got 28 out of 50, okay. 28 out of 50, this is equal to 56%. And remember what I said, test 1 is weighted 30%. Now 30% of 56 is equal to about 17%.
16.8.
16.8. 17%. Okay, so this is a weight that is carried in terms of 30%. If we look at test 2, and once again,
Out of 100.
let's use an example of 70, are we?
Okay.
Right, 70 marks. This. And we're saying the learner gets 56 out of 70. Okay, that converts to 80%.
80, yeah.
But if you take 80%, what is 70% of 80%? I mean, you arrive at 56.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your weight in terms of. So guys, if you add both your test 1, right, 17% plus 56%, that equals what do we get out of it?
73.
Huh?
73.
73%. So you carry the 73% into your exams. But remember what I said to you guys, your ICAS is 40%.
40%, yeah.
So what is 40% of 73?
29.
What's it, Avi?
I'll tell you. No?
29.2.
Yeah, 29.2.
29.2, say 30%.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the type of weight you carry into your final exams.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to get too much into details, you guys, when you'll read and you'll have a better understanding. Like at the moment in time, because most of you guys don't have this amazing understanding, you don't have a lot of questions. But once you'll dig deep and you'll have a better understanding than me, you're going to bombard me with questions. So that's fine. I will. All right. So that's basically the value of the ICAS.
And just by the way,
Yeah.
you got 30% there, and the pass mark is 40%. So in other words, in terms of like the real weighting for the exams, if you get like 10% on that side, you're gonna make it. But in the exams, they have something called a sub minimum.
Yeah.
So you have to get 40%
Yeah.
sub minimum. Yeah.
You can have a fantastic. There is an hypothetical scenario.
You can pass
You
before
can pass,
you
okay.
exams.
Because you can actually get 30% on that, your test 1, and you can get 70%, and
test
you
2.
can go into you can carry an 100% ICAS,
Which is
right,
40%.
which is weighted, which is 40%,
Which is
and-
the pass mark.
which
yeah.
is the pass mark. And you're thinking now you can fail your final exams because you can maybe get 10% plus. But the minimum on your final exam, you have to get 40.
They still want to get 40.
So you guys understand, it's like, I mean, you guys have been exposed to this. It's like nothing. And Trevor, you understand this, right? And Avi is a master of this. Now he'll explain to you. He understands Diet and these guys, yeah, they're smart, okay, very smart. Okay, all right, so that's the story there. I'm not going to go too much into that. The other critical thing, guys, is that in terms of ICAS, your guys have to put in the hours and whatever and study very hard, because there's another very critical thing, and I need to put it up front, is that we cannot set the standards low on the ICAS. Right. We cannot have a diluted low standard of ICAS. ICAS must never be of a low standard. And I'll tell you what, if you carry your ICAS, say 70, 80, 90% into your finals, and in your final exam, you get 20%. So straight away they're seeing there is no correlation in terms of the learner's capability. somewhere along the line your ICAS has been set at a very low standard, or there has been some sort of open book or copying or whatever. This year is very good to boost your ego and what have you, but when it comes to you getting and progressing to the next level, it has no value. There is a committee.
Audit stuff.
Right, it's made up of, I know at one time it was Umalusi, DED officials, moderators and what have you. If they see that this is a massive discrepancy, straight away they can knock that off, are we?
Yeah.
Right, they can knock
They
that off.
audit the campuses. So
Yeah.
if they feel that okay, the ICAS was very high,
Yeah.
and then our learners now perform very badly in the exam, then there's some discrepancy that happened in the campus. Like, for example, we probably gave you all marks in the test or helped you all out or something, and then they come and audit the campus and they go through each learner's file, and then they work it out and they say, you know, like what happened, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you'll want to maintain your credibility. As a college Scientec, we want to maintain our credibility. These guys will actually go to the college and look at this and dig in, and they will disqualify us, disqualify you guys. So I think that's, yeah, so that's the thing. So my final comment, my final conclusion would be, I wish you guys well. Your guys have done the hard miles in terms of doing the hard work. The first couple of weeks, it'll take you a bit of time to get into the groove of a classroom setup. But once it's there, that motivation where your people's working life hasn't come to an end, and the best is yet to come. Okay, you must always have that the best is yet to come, and use this to achieve the best is yet to come. All right, so from my side, I wish you all the best. Thanks guys, thanks Navi.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Right, moving on next onto the program, we're going to look at the orientation brochure. So this, I think I left it on you guys' table. After that. Right, the orientation brochure, the contents of it, we're going to be looking firstly at the Scientec education training registration and accreditation details. So just to rest your mind that we are an accredited body. I think Rowan will be taking you through the code of conduct, right? The assessment policy, the list of subjects will be done by Jaffet, and the assessment policy and strategy, I'll go over that again, which is very similar to what Lloyd went through. It's very important, that's why we're rehearsing that there. The value allocation, Jaffet will take you through that. And then the important one is the college payments and current bursaries. Sana will go over that. There's going to be an emergency drill. Right, part of this induction, we have to follow protocol. So Jaffet is actually our HSE rep, and he's going to go through the emergency safety drill. We do on Thursdays, last Thursday of every month, we do a drill, but you guys are not going to be here, but you need to know where the assembly points inside is, if you're here, just in case, right? Yeah, then we're going to have a Q&A session with Lloyd and I for anything that you need to know or want to know about the program. And lastly, we got your POE files here. You guys need to sign the learner declaration, right? There's some aspects there that we need from you. I don't think did I ask any of you to bring your CVs in?
No.
Yeah, so CVs is one of the things that we're going to need for you. You look at, you'll see the contents page of that there. And then lastly, we want a group photo with the separate and engine learner.
Don't ever leave out.
Yeah. We were calling this thing the whole separate.
Yeah,
and then you came in now, it's like, no, we're going to take out that separate. Yeah, and then that's what will be done. And as, like I said, at around 10:30, I think just after Rowan finishes, we'll break for tea and we'll come back. Yeah, so in terms of the accreditation, you turn in here, these are accreditation details. You can actually verify them on the Department of Higher Education training website. Our exam center number is 05-999-2575. You'll get very used to that closer to the exam time because you'll be filling it out on your sheets and your answer booklets. Alright, Ro, take it away.
Hey guys, just to reintroduce myself, I am Rowan, and I'm taking over engineering mathematics from N4 to N6. Hopefully I see you through. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the code of conduct with you. It's compulsory for me to do that. I'm just going to expound on a couple of points of the code of conduct.
It's quite lengthy.
It's quite lengthy, so I urge you to actually go through it in detail when you have time. So basically, the code of conduct is just to give you a list of your responsibilities, your rights as learners, and our rights as a training provider and lecturers and stuff like that. Okay, so we can go through the rights of our learners. You can see here it says, you have the right to be taught and to learn in a safe environment, which will be provided by Scientec and by your facilitators and lecturers. You have the right to attend all your classes, which is free from violence and any form of discrimination and intimidation. You have the right to receive tuition, which means extra time from us as lecturers on anything that you need help with in terms of the course content. In all learning areas in accordance to the core curriculum. You also have the right to receive regular feedback and reports reflecting your academic process, to receive counseling that may pertain to any personal and educational problems you may have. You have a right to participate in activities hosted by the college community. Such rights may be exercised subject to conditional beliefs based on your religious and personal convictions, and you have a right to express your views on the platforms provided by the college. Right, so the medium of instruction. So Scientec recognizes that English is the most common language in the world, so our medium of teaching will be English, okay? So that's what we follow. So the rights of our lecturers. So we attain respect as lecturers and professionals to support and accept the decisions made by the learners, to offer support to management of the Scientec education and training, to gain access to legitimate lecturing resources, we have that covered, to deliver quality education without any illegitimate disruptions, violence and intimidation, to have access to an environment that promotes sound occupational health that is safe and secure, to privacy, willingness of duty, and to exercise discipline in accordance with the rules and regulations of the college. Now, the responsibility of the learners. So every student, by signing an official registration, becomes the subject to the rules of this college. So you learners are responsible to attend classes regularly and punctually. And attendance registers will be completed on the daily whenever you attend.
So this notes on that, the attendance registers, some of you will be working, I think. But you need to let us know that we're going to upload those videos. You guys are regarded as part-time learners. So in terms of time, there's no stipulation for the amount of time. But we need to, in terms of auditing by Department of Higher Education, we need to show the Department of Higher Education that you've received the full program and that you attended, right? So on times I might ask you, even if you weren't here, to say you signed the register provided that you watched the lecture, right?
Okay, so you have a responsibility to ensure that learning takes place effectively and progressively, and students shall acquaint themselves with and comply with the rules relating to the examination. We go through that at the end. Okay, so any learner who intentionally causes damage to any property owned, possessed, or occupied by the college will face a disciplinary hearing to ensure that all academic work, such as your assignments, your homework, your tests, are to be attempted to the maximum potential of your capabilities. You have to display tolerance to your fellow learners in respect to their opinions and the views expressed by them, to refrain from any unacceptable behavior, to conform to acceptable personal hygiene. It's the responsibility of all learners to inform our lecturers or members of management of any medical conditions. Okay, so we leave it at the code. So the consequences of any of this misconduct will be liable for suspension or a disciplinary hearing by Scientec. Okay, so we have forms of misconduct on page number 7. Academic misconduct, that can be any forms of copying or falsifying your academic work, any individual that presents work or material that shows assistance from another learner, assisting in learning in an unacceptable manner, falsifying of results and academic records, undertaking any irregularity in an examination. Okay, and then aiding and abetting academic misconduct, that is basically cheating, use of any unauthorized material or technology during an assessment, assisted during an assessment by another person, or assisting another person with answers, possessing or using or distributing unauthorized copies of an examination question, an examination that is undertaken by another person that is trying to represent you, removing an answer script from the examination venue, presentation of another person's assessment, and obtaining unauthorized access to computer files of another person. So we come to plagiarism. So you must be thinking plagiarism is the same as cheating and copying from other people's. No. So plagiarism is basically taking someone's work, sourcing it from the net or from a textbook, but not giving them actual recognition for it. Basically basing it as your own. So that's what we mean by plagiarism. So in your assignments or your test, or not your test, but your assignments mainly, if you are sourcing the information, you give that person the due recognition. Okay? And let's go to the final part, the examination, which is on page number 14. Okay, so the conduct of the examination. So it says that the examination is the most crucial moment in all of your lives. The success of the examination rules are a necessity to ensure discipline is maintained, as well as to ensure every learner is treated in fairness and not placed at any advantage. So all of you should follow these rules stipulated here. Entry requirements into the examination is your ID book and your permission slips. No borrowing of stationery. All learners are to be seated at least 30 minutes before the start of the examination session. No late coming is tolerated. We are very strict about that. We will not allow you in the exam venue if you come late. Okay. No cell phones will be allowed in the examination venue. No form of communication will be tolerated in the examination venue unless we, the lecturer, speak to you. Ensure that you are seated in your correct seat. You will be given a seat number and so forth. A seating plan will be issued to you. And should a learner be caught with incriminating material or found guilty of any misconduct during the examination, he or she will be suspended for the remainder part of the exam, and possible expulsion is pending a formal disciplinary inquiry. Okay, so that's just highlighting the main points of the code of conduct. I do urge you to read it.
Yeah. We'll break. The tea session, ready? We're done, Lord?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can give a question. Alright guys, before we move on to point 2 in the orientation brochure, you guys are welcome to have tea. We're going to have a 15-minute tea break. There's tea and coffee there and biscuits. Yeah.
Sure, it's ready. You are visitors come to your house, you say tea is ready, but the tea has to be made. Is it okay. Alright, come here.
Guys, if you all are not having tea, I'm in the room next door for any of your discussions regarding finance as I spoke. You all can come to me or after, but I need to see all of you all after the session also. But I am sitting next door. If anybody wants to have a chat, quick chat, I'm there. I've got my computer there.
From 5 to 6. So 8 weeks. So I'm
Just 4 months. Okay, alright, okay.
Days a month.
Yo.
Imali ngakho uzoyifundela mina. Sihlale sonke siyafunda. Siyafunda njalo.
So kumele ukuthi siyahamba sekhona ama-recording. Inkinga ukubhala exam. Cha ngisho ukulondoza mase ngekho la study group sethu. Oh usho ukuthi subpost. Yeah. Uzoza phela.
Wasentombini yakho le lapha ngasekhaya. Manje unentombi yakho le lapha ngasekhaya. Uzomelele khona nje. Umzukwana.
Extend your stay. Akungayifuna njalo ukulala kathini.
Ya uzofundela ngcono study group.
Manje uma uhamba uyaphesheya lento usho uzoshiya phansi.
Hayi ufunda online. Ngibathe ba nama recordings. Phela shuthi uma ubhala uzothatha iy'nsuku phela uzobhala.
Every quarter uzobhala. Izoba inkinga. Waphela ngeke bakwazi ukuza ukubheka ukuthi akuphi noma ubhala lento badale.
Uzoza nje uthatha lezo zifundo.
Aneze ukuthi wena kufanele ibe trimester.
Uthandaza isitha uqondane ne-off yakho.
Kumele ukuthi uzobhala. Ukwazi ukuthi uzobhala in 6 months. Kuphela futhi awuqeda nje. So exam ngale sikhathi. Allocate exam. Uyafona nawe.
Yini manje la? Sure.
Umsebenzi. Ashama keke bezimabhizinisi ngani konke.
Uzoyiziba kanti offer umsebenzi.
Ucinga saliya sazimba manje.
La into kancane nje. Yalezi namba zawo Cape Town lezihlezi yabo zinesicef. Awusaliyeki manje bazawazi. Akhala nje yakudonsa. Hello. Ngisho wazi ukuthi lezi namba ezinesicef. Uyalibaba. You never know. Yani umuntu wayazi ukuthi ukwenzeka into sekufana nale umhlaba ujikele okwaqwela nje
Sibuyele enganeni siyafunda kuthiwa no open book test.
Yo le mqingi ingaka nje
Ayisemningi.
hibo
Hibo.
ayodwa wona uvala athi ilo wale
Maths.
emaths uvala lo
Maths nambona ukuthi uvani.
hayi uvala imaths
Nami ngibona kanjalo ngithi maths azuthi ubona uvani. Ayikusho ukuthi soba ama technologists.
hibo
So about technologists.
No, but what did when he was saying that?
Hmm?
No, but what did when he said that?
What?
No, he was talking about like how we're gonna be chemical engineering and stuff like that. And that was about problem solving. I'm like, those technologies we have, like, do we want to go there? He's telling us we're gonna be like them. So I'm like, hey, no.
That's like a emotion.
I'm like, are you sure? I was like, okay, hey, you trying to sell this thing now?
Yes, yeah. That's the motors. And the question is also find what technologies, the way better than what technologies.
Not selling this.
Abuyazobuza kuthina ama-technologies. Ushuthi manje ishuthi ithina sigwela phansi.
Phela thina sesihlanganise nale experience nje.
So uthena sofana nama-technologies.
Yeah, we do 3 months behind this.
Yeah.
3 months bese siyalunga.
Yeah, but ungafuna ukuqhubeka. Shawuba uya N5, shawuba 3 months, N6 shawuba 3 months.
Even if they call us,
I don't know. But I had Velas is back.
Yeah, the LMU.
Yeah, he's a terminal manager. Starting next week.
They gave him a better deal as a way better than what he got as a they call it Cisco.
So sizoyena.
But I think by By August, about by September or something like that, we should know.
No,
So
what?
what's the sale going?
You know what?
Whether they're taking us back or not.
Say us back for what? They say they're
You
gonna
need
start
to
to
back
There's operators.
Yeah?
Apply. I was applying. I'm from Madiam.
That's it, they're gonna start with those who applied.
Yeah.
So if you didn't apply, you can wait for next
No,
year.
I don't care, bro.
Never
As long as I know most of the guys that are out there that apply,
That's what
and
that's what
already got
approach
jobs.
everyone.
That's what they say.
I also have to
Agreement.
You're not there to fight that anymore.
Ukhona usipheki uzoyiba
He's
le.
saying no, they're gonna. No.
Ukhona usipheki uzoyiba le.
But.
Usipheki.
I feel like it's an Indian.
Hey, send the money to our face.
I feel like it's an Indian.
What's poison now?
Hey, we got the train.
I don't want to check.
No, but it's terminal. That's always there. It's short.
What is it now? And whoever
If
gets
we
the
buy
jobs,
it,
and then they
Oh, okay, so they also kept it.
Yeah, but they confirmed the terminal. Or uma
So they're converting now.
Yeah, we
They
got
take it. Oh. So for my turnaround, young client, I'm about 18 years old.
So that's including all the people that went to Malaysia, all
Kumanje,
of the people
not
that
really
went.
replacement aside.
Yeah, if you didn't get the
So
food.
And football actually is.
There's such a lot of people.
Hey, I want to say, who to apply, but I'm
What good news you got first, Timber?
Eh?
What good news you got to share with us?
What could